It's commonly known that a lot of Gen Z and boomers have contradicting beliefs on what work-life balance means. And this difference is comically cited as a source of frustration in our workplaces today. Now, on one hand, our more experienced counterparts value hard work and commitment, view work as an opportunity, and often see their career as a lifelong pursuit. My generation, on the other hand, craves flexibility, looks for ways to get things done faster, bigger, better, and feel that work should support living their best life instead of getting in the way of it. So Ruth, I'm curious, what do you think about that? And what do you think about, or what do you respect about the more traditional ways of work-life balance?
Well, I think that what I admire about previous generations is that they weren't as obsessed with younger people as having a career that was their absolute passion and making sure that it was this calling. I think that a lot of people that are older than us were able to just recognize work as work. And they could go to work and come home, and those were two separate things. And I think now we have a sense of what you do for money has to be this thing that makes you feel really passionate. And I think that kind of causes people to feel burnt out because we don't necessarily have...
Well, we're not always going to be happy with what we do every day.
Correct, no matter what you do.
Right.
Exactly.
Carm, I'm curious, what do you think about that? Just hearing our generation side, do you think we've progressed in a positive way with the idea of work?
I think, like, I mean, with your generation, you're right. You're looking at all these different ways, and you want that perfect place and that perfect job and that perfect fun. But I agree with you in a sense that it's never gonna. It's not never. It's not always that easy. Like, you got to work, and you got to work hard to get to where you want to be and find out what you want to do. But I think a lot of time is wasted in between. Because like a lot of people, and I don't mean this in a bad way, like they go to university, right? And they come out, they got this degree, and they think, okay, I got this degree. Society's told me that, I'm going to get this degree, I'm going to have a successful life and be successful. And then all of a sudden it doesn't happen that way.
Right. So I'm curious, Sherry, do you think there's a happy medium that we just haven't figured out yet?
Exactly. I think that's exactly it. I think that's where each generation improves upon that, right? Like this very same things that we're talking about between, your generational perspectives and our generational perspectives are the same conversations I had with my grandparents and great-grandparents. Each generation is saying, remember my grandfather, kids these days, right? You hear it, right? And we keep modifying and improving and tweaking. And I think it's awesome that we're aiming to have happier moments. But I think that, work-life balance is about that by saying we want to aim for that.
Do you guys think this is, Sherry, you think we're headed in a more positive direction? Carm, you think that as well?
Yeah.
We're just adapting, we're changing the way that we think about work?
We want to be realistically optimistic, right? Like, yes, we want to, I think we're learning too, work-life balance. Like, it doesn't mean that we have to work 80, 100 hours a week anymore.
More efficient.
More efficient and being adaptable and flexible and all those good things.
That I really like is the idea of work-life presence rather than balance, so that the ideal situation would be that wherever you are, you can be fully present. So if you've done your job correctly, you should be able to go and be with your family and be fully present. And if you've been fully present with your family, then you should be able to go to work and not
be fully present.
And exactly.
What do you think, like, Ruth, what do you hope future you would have done today? Like, do you think you would have wished you worked harder so you had a better retirement? Or like, I don't know.
I'm definitely a dream chaser, and I'm always trying different things, but I have learned through experience that even something that you're deeply passionate about, you can burn out of and you can have bad days. I don't know if I would do anything different. I would just keep working hard and keep checking in with myself. And
well, one of the things when I was sitting down with the one older couple that I interviewed was, I think our generation has said, well, we want to start enjoying life earlier because your generation doesn't seem like they enjoyed their work as much as what we strive to. Like, it was a job. You stay there for 40 years, you suck it up, and you have a good retirement. I don't know. Am I throwing blanket statements? Or
I look at it as that your generation has the computer, so you guys have like a big jump over the one we had. We didn't have that, right? So if I would look at myself and say, what would I tell myself from before is like investments and stuff like that would ease the way that you got to work and all that. Like, at this point in time, I would have probably been in a different area, right? You know what I mean? But you guys have the internet. You guys have the knowledge of going onto the computers and this and that.
Learning quicker, younger.
Yes, absolutely. But a lot of people don't take that. A lot of people leave it on the table, and I see it.
Yeah.
They just leave it on the table.
That's why our generation's more behind. I got to cut you off here. We're going to get into it again. When we come back, what else should we be learning from each other? I love you, Carm.